Back at it again.
We're doing it.
Back
again.
at it again.
Third time's a charm, hopefully. Hopefully this will be the good one.
Maybe we'll get a thing right, but I really don't see it happening.
I don't think so either. Especially if we pick another Punisher comic, which we're going to have to automatically veto unless it's hilarious.
I don't want to call it out until I see it.
Yeah.
Until I see it, because
But Crackdown was the Crackdown was the pinnacle.
I know, but look, if we pull out a comic we didn't know about and Punisher's Asian for a year, like, how are we supposed to say no to that?
No, if we pick the one where he's wearing the baby armor, then you gotta do it.
But first things first.
Yeah.
Let's get into recent and/or reads you want to push, because I think I want to talk about, like, not just recent reads, because I want I like, if I don't
familiar
reads, if it's a read that I had that's not recent, that's still something I wouldn't mind pushing.
Right.
I'm gonna reach back into the catalog and
Saga.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
I wish I could read it.
Fucking.
It's in the trash bin.
Lest we forget.
Don't move that.
Lest we forget. Don't you worry. Right over here. Right over there.
In the shadow of our chairs.
You seen it?
Saga's in the trash.
You seen it? No time for no quality.
And if you are new to our show, we love Saga dearly. And we're just doing this for a gag.
But there's no time for good shit.
No.
We have to get things wrong. We have to get to the garbage.
Toot sweet.
But before garbage, actually, because that's a complete lie.
Yeah.
What do you want to push? What comic book or manga or manhwa?
I knew it was coming.
Would you like to discuss?
Over my recent plane ride into SoCal, I got a few comics. Some I really want to talk about, like Spirits of Vengeance new.
Okay.
Remember Spirits of Vengeance? Just Ghost Riders
Johnny Blaze
little group? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a new one, and then there's like some new Venom comics that came out where he's fighting Kraven. Those look neat. But what I picked up today is
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen number 25. Gwenom Part 1.
The introduction of Gwenom
starts here.
Yeah. So that I remember when Gwenom was introduced 2 years ago?
No.
Last year?
No.
Is this new?
Yeah.
But Gwenom was a thing that I've heard about a long time ago.
Fan art thing for a long time. This is like official Gwenom. There's been Gwenom designs for years.
But this Gwenom I have definitely seen a while ago. Sure.
But then this is because Marvel Legacy is new.
Okay.
So this is like the first actually being. I think the design has been out for like a year, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I'm like, I know I've seen that because I remember being like, oh shit, the tongue is like a scarf.
Yeah. This is a few months old because we're 3 issues ahead of this. Now this is 25. When I went to the comic book store, they or a vendor at Frankensons, they had it up to like 28. And I was like, well, no, when does Gwenom start? And they're like 25. And I'm like, okay, good.
Gwenom starts.
Because I'm a fucking Gwenom fanboy.
Yeah,
and like Spider-Gwen in general. So.
All right. So if we, get into it.
Yeah, we get into it. So I don't have a bunch to say about this issue in particular. But what I will say is that Spider-Gwen has been kind of difficult to read for me for a few times. What are we doing? Just because there's something in the storytelling, the visual storytelling, and the writing where I've been like actually kind of confused about what's happening.
Okay. Why is it confusing?
Well, we'll go through it a little bit, but basically leading up to this issue, if you might know Woolie, Matt Murdock is basically a devil lawyer in this, where he's the boss.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah.
And he's the one that's doing back alley deals and fucking people over.
Still blind?
Everyone hates him. They're like, it's the devil, you know? And leading up to this, Matt Murdock got...
Look at him. He looks like he's dressed for the part.
There he is.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock got Spider-Gwen's powers taken away. She lost them. He's like, you work for me. I'm going to give you these pills that will give you your powers back temporarily, which Spider-Gwen calls power-ups.
Now, you're turning past a page that had you on it.
There I am, a little bit.
What's up with that?
Actually, right now, that's Frank Castle. I don't think
just
he's
hanging out with
in
Gwen?
the police force because he was on the hunt for Spider-Woman
Sure.
before, and now he's just kind of a vigilante, as he is wont to do.
So what's Gwen Stacy up to then?
So Gwen Stacy's up to right now, it's like, I'm so tired of Matt Murdock holding my leash. I'm going to join with, it's called the Venom. This weird alien substance, whatever it is, and that'll give me my powers so I don't have to rely on him.
Where does it come from?
Unfortunately, this is where I got a little fucked over, even though it says Gwen Part 1. The origin is actually probably in an issue or two before this because she already has it in this issue, despite it said Gwen in Part 1, which is no one's fault but my own. I didn't do the research.
Fine. Fair enough.
So why I say there's visual storytelling where I'm like, I don't really understand sometimes. I really like this artist. I forget their name. They have a definite visual style, but there are some things where I'm staring at them and I'm like, what am I looking at exactly? I think I went too far back, but there's this one shot I want you to look at, William, and be like, wait, what's happening? Where are they? Up here in the top panel. There's something that says super combo something, and it shows a Ryu sprite.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this.
There's a Hadoken on the logo.
But I can't tell, is this the front face of a store and super combo? This is like a sign or a scrawl, a super combo meal?
Super combo meal is what it says, and it looks like it's supposed to be like...
And it can't show Ryu in totality, so his head is cut off.
Yeah.
But that's his fucking sprite against some other type of sprite. And I'm like, is this a diner? Because I'm not familiar with this exact spot.
It looks like one of those things hanging from the ceiling at like a fast food place, but I kind of like... It's a weird choice. I see what you mean.
That just visually made me go, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. And
there's a throwback. There's a reference to Street Fighter here, but it's unclear what's going on or why.
I think it's the front of the diner that they're at.
Yeah, sure. That's what they're going for. Clearly.
Just reading through
it's a weird choice.
I read through Miles Morales Loves Gwen Stacy. It was like a little one-shot comic where Miles has a problem, meets up with Gwen Stacy in her universe, and they do a thing. And just visually and like. It was just messy to read. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I never usually have that problem.
Okay.
Usually, layouts and stuff I'm fine with. And there was just something about it. And it carries over here where in some...
Same artist?
I believe so. But in some sequences, I'm just a little like, okay, that was a weird way to visually show this, especially during fights. Gwendom's design we both like. But when it's black on black in a lot of instances, it's, again, a little hard to follow the action a little bit. This is a minor gripe, obviously.
Right.
And I need to read more to see where the storyline goes.
It's the visual equivalent of like a fight scene where the camera's too close.
Or something. There's it's one of those things that's hard to tell. And then Punisher gets a little bit involved. I've only read this issue, and I'm like, okay, well, I have the two others I bought leading up to this. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't understand what Marvel Legacy is. This is the 3rd, 4th, 6th reboot in as many years now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. There's too many. They're still chasing that golden unicorn of like, this is the reboot. This is the last one, and it's not. It never is.
I'm just weirded out by
this is what they're going for. They're going for the old style. They're like, hey, look, little faces there.
Right.
Legacy.
It's an old school Marvel cover, but the artists are clearly new.
Also, as a side note, this run of Captain America by Mark Waid, which was he's a really good writer. He did a really good job on Daredevil. I really want to read this because I've heard good things about this. And of course, it's like, hey, that Hydra shit. Whatever, don't mind that. And like when you've done that the 6th or 7th time, where you're like, don't forget about that. That's where I have very little patience for it. So,
I think it's the fact that that's new is odd to me in the sense that like it's just been in the peripheral for a long time alongside the whole like Gwenverse like rush and whatnot, and the other
edge
thing,
of Venomverse and all that, where everyone is literally a Venom.
There's that, right? And furthermore, like I remember when I was talking about like, oh man, when we were first guessing who should be in Marvel Infinite and things like that, and I was like, hey, wouldn't Spider-Gwen be a good choice? Wouldn't that be interesting or fun? And I remember like feedback basically coming in going, God damn it, Woolie. What are you talking about? That's so last year and out of and old school. No one cares about her anymore. That's done.
But she's in everything now. Like she's in Marvel Lego and stuff. She's on the cover.
But it sounded like multiple people were like, the push with Gwen is over. That shit's so like passe.
But so as opposed to like any other character.
Right. So I was kind of just like, oh, okay. So I guess that's the case. So if this is new, then I guess that's not really true.
I guess not.
Perhaps not.
Maybe you were lied to.
Maybe.
So that's my comic book that I'm currently reading. I want to get through the rest of it. So I have like some sort of finality because one issue is never enough to be like,
make a judgment call. You know? It's like an anime. You give it 4 episodes and then you decide.
And then when you say no, people are like, no, you should have given it.
Unfortunately, the run is 6 issues, so 4 of them is like you're literally at the climax.
There you go.
So anyway,
so what is yours today?
I'm going back. I'm going way back to the college years, and I'm pulling out Flight.
Ooh,
right?
Fancy.
This is one of your anthology graphic novels that pretty much I just started collecting these hardcore back when we were in the
college.
Early aughts. Yeah. And the Flight you can pick up at like, or I don't know if you still can.
Find novel stores everywhere.
Find a comic store that has like, you know, like a decent graphic novel collection.
Yeah, not the comic book section because the graphic novel section is different.
But you can go to a Chapters, Indigo, or Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah.
And actually find. Because here's the thing: this used to be published by Image.
Really?
And then I noticed when I collected them, the spines started changing. Right, and the volume and the spines don't look the same. Like
that's Vertigo.
It switched to Villard, right? But the point was that they switched from Image to another publishing company in order to get into mainstream bookstores. Right. So that's what I found out. So what is Flight? Flight is an anthology, and every issue is actually just it's really good because it's a bunch of non-connected stories. They're all completely self-contained.
Yeah, but they all have something to do with Flight.
They don't. They don't. They're honestly just open told stories by like different people, and like they're all. The main thing is that it's always edited by Kazu Kibushi, who is mostly known for being the editor of Flight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But he's known for being like a very good a dude that's like been selective and has chosen some really good stories. Mm-hmm. So like this issue, for example, has a bunch of different really good artists. The first story being told is like a wordless tale.
Right. Just visuals.
Just visuals about this like little alien fox thing
that seems to be trying to survive a harsh alien landscape
and going through like
some real shit,
and it's great. It's one of my favorite stories.
Reminds me of Bone.
Okay, well here's the thing. This was done by Michel Gagne, aka Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
Really? Nice.
Right? So this is a story, like the first story here is like some of his work, and when you see this alien's face, you're like, yeah, okay, I can see some of that design, right? From that old 360 game. I want to say the second story, is it Amy Kim? No. But like some of the artists in here are like legit people. Like one of these stories here is submitted by the creator.
Oh God, I thought this was about actual Cyclops, not like mythology Cyclops.
One of the stories here was submitted by the creator of Earthworm Jim.
Oh, really?
Right. So like they've got some work in there. There is a couple other noteworthy people as well, but ultimately some of them too are just like amateur artists that made the cut. You know, if their story was interesting enough.
Not actually established people. They were just good enough, like their submission, so they just went with them.
Exactly. And it's just good old-fashioned fun comics. You know what I mean? Like graphic novel designs and page layouts and things that are interesting like this. And like if you don't like a story, you can go past a couple pages and jump to the next one. But it's almost like you're sort of changing the channel, you know, from like one story to the next. And it's a very
this one.
Quick Night in the Woods a little bit, right?
Definitely.
It's a very like easy, fast read when you're just in the mood for one thing or another.
Even more Night in the Woods.
Sure. You know, and then you never know what the next type of thing you're gonna get is. Like this one's awesome with that robot. Some of them are just like a dire. Like there's a whole plethora, and across the 8 volumes, I can.
Oh, so this is just one.
This is volume 1 of 8.
That's a lot.
And what I can say is like, there's some stories are hits, some are miss, but the majority of them.
But
land.
they're all like at least interesting.
They're all at least interesting in some way, and again, the majority of them do land and have something like at least an idea going on that's really strong.
Right.
This one like towards the end, you have like just dreamscape elephant art, and like labyrinths and cities and structures, and again another wordless tale. And there's a lot of this, so you really get a good sense of like storytelling from the Flight books. Starting at 1 in particular, you get a strong sense for like these were chosen because they had storytelling above everything else, right? And you don't need to really jump into these characters' lives. You're just seeing a key short story moment, and then you're out.
A slice of life.
Slice of life, if life were in
a cake form,
in a way, sure, on another planet where gravity doesn't exist. And it's
and is it like still going today, or is it like an old thing that finished?
No, so Flight has finished, and
so there's only 8 volumes.
There's only 8 volumes, and then there was a successor series that Kazu put out. That's another series of compilations, and I think it's I forgot what it's called, but I know it's focused on children as like a theme. And then he had another series after that started in 2008. That's like his own comic, but. Just going back to these ones, these original books, I think you can probably still find them because they're huge.
I'd like to think so.
All right, $25 for one, and you're
probably
getting
less in the States.
That's 25 American.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Canadian. Canadian 32.
Of course.
On the MSRP, but I if you have love for the medium,
visual storytelling,
yes, absolutely, highly recommended. It's not. I'm not like breaking new ground here. Flight's fucking old. Like, what year was this?
But it's also might be so old enough that people just don't
might have completely missed it.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible. So
there's that.
So yeah, the volumes of Flight, and guess what? They're all this thick. They all have like at
bang
least
for your buck.
Yeah, you're getting a solid 20 good stories out of each volume.
All right,
easily.
All right. So there's how many stories you think?
There's like I can count them up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Right, this would be
about 30 stories.
This would be $3.99.
Yep.
Gwenum for like one story with ads.
Well,
so I think that equals out 30 stories.
30 stories.
Yeah, that's actually the better deal.
30 stories for $25.
Yeah.
Right? That's less than $1 per story.
I guess so.
How about that math?
So I might check that out if I can.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Don Hertzfeldt in this as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's like AKA Don Hertzfeldt of Rejected and the fucked up stick figures that my anus is bleeding.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. We'll
animation show.
The animation show. Yes. All of those.
That's such college stuff.
Yes. The animation. Exactly. My anus is bleeding. Tuesday's coming. Did you bring your coat? I'm feeling fat and sassy.
Yeah.
Don Hertzfeldt. He's got one in there. There's a bunch. Cool, so, cool. But again...
Does Todd McFarlane have one later?
Todd McFarlane does not have one.
Why?
Well, I don't think he had his image veto anymore at the point in time when this was coming out.
This is so brilliant that Todd McFarlane must have fought its publication by...
Hats in our hands.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Technical difficulties, everybody.
They
Yay!
Happen. There's a lot of wires and things everywhere.
Things get crossed. What happened? What happened was...
actually happens is there's no space left on the laptop.
Oh my god! So here's what like this is so weird and abrupt.
Yeah.
But to finish off what I was saying, Flight's awesome. There's 8 volumes of it. You can go check it out. And there's Flight and there's Spider-Gwen were the 2 recommends.
Yes.
And then we got into the box, la boîte. And we went into the trash pile, and the trash pile, right? And then there's your little bobblehead Funko. Yeah. Oh, you just slide that off camera. Why don't you?
He goes back.
Oh no. Oh God.
Anyway.
And then Matt reached in and pulled out fucking Double Dragon. You hiding it?
No, I was trying to get it in the shot.
You pulled out the fucking
Double
Dragon comic. Yeah. So that. Yeah.
Stan Lee presents.
I then proclaimed that I think we have a box of all winners. I don't think there's a single dud in that box because
I don't think we would have put it in because you and I both put shit in there.
Yeah.
And we're not going to put in like Amazing Spider-Man like 275. Like
no, like everything has been gold so far, and I have a really strong feeling that's going to continue.
Yeah, I think so.
That coloring book,
at least based on covers alone and concepts.
That coloring book will get selected at some point.
I'm supposed to read that.
I don't know, but whoever has the balls to pull it out, you can see the spine. You can see it right there. It's waiting. So either way, we basically then took a look at this cover. Hold that shit up. Yeah. And this is a whole new incarnation of Double Dragon.
It's the one you know, but even better. Maybe.
Slightly familiar, but slightly different.
Like slightly, yeah, all of those things.
Fortunately, we still have the audio of our review of the comic.
We do.
So we're going to be cutting to that for you. And, yeah, it's weird, but back in time we go, I guess.
Let's do it.
Fucking Double Dragon. Yep. That was
Double Dragon.
That certainly was.
Was it though?
Maybe.
This is one of those things. Remember my big dumb post on NeoGaf years ago about all the Double Dragon stuff?
Yes.
This was like I just threw it in because I'm like, look, different designs.
What was the crux?
It's
of your post.
My crux of the post is like, man, Double Dragon had a fucking marketing problem because every single version of every single game had a different design and origin and whatever. And this is actually another completely different one.
Completely new design.
It has little bits of everything. Like there's a bit from the cartoon. There's bits from like the actual game.
Well,
movie.
First things first.
What's the first things first?
First things first is we gotta rate it. We gotta find out what's going on with this thing.
Yeah.
So
there's our list.
So step one is we need to know, is this cover lying to me?
I think it is not. There was a fight scene where, Bill and James.
yeah. William.
We're doing like William Lee. We're doing like a little pose before some guys attack them. So they stood there with those weapons.
Ultimately, it's not, but there was no point where he was holding. Is that just a staff?
Now
that staff that's on the cover there was never actually held by them. They had nunchucks.
Oh, what were they called, Woolie? They weren't called nunchucks.
What were they called?
They were called vibechucks.
Vibechucks.
Let me get to that page real quick.
Well, we're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through it.
I just want to show that real quick because I couldn't believe it when I seen it. I was just like, yeah, okay. So right here we can see William holding out the vibechucks.
Indeed.
And it is a little steel beam. Maybe it's a staff that breaks? Possibly. We're not sure yet.
Some sort of 3-section staff, perhaps.
Some type of staff.
Okay.
Weapon.
Well, I'm willing to say that like the cover's telling the truth.
It's not lying. Maybe it's not telling the truth.
In fact, that's the exact artist and the exact everything that we get inside. That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
What you see is there.
Mm-hmm.
Did I have to read some other bullshit to know what was going on here?
Yeah, of course. Secret Wars. Secret Wars was instrumental in the Lee brothers showing up in, what's the name of the city?
Oligopolis.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Is that a term for something?
I mean,
it's a metropolis.
Yeah, but they didn't want to go with monopolis,
no,
right?
I guess not.
So they went with Oligopolis because it's ruled by an oligopoly.
That sounds like a Sesame Street character.
It possibly.
Anyway.
But one thing, would you say that it counts that you would have to have played the game?
No, but if you have played the game, you'll be really confused because it sets up a story and for the word one, and it's a very different story than you probably used to if you're familiar with Double Dragon. But if you're not, you'll be like, all right, it's just a city and these are its characters.
And those are the people and that's the girl and then the thing.
And these are the young kids that drive their hoverboards all over.
And that's the font that makes me think Asia.
Yeah.
So, next so I'd say 1, didn't lie. 2, didn't have to read no other bullshit. Liefeld alert, no Liefeld alert.
How so?
There's no that's not a Liefeld comment.
Oh, it's actually not Liefeld. Okay.
No.
We were about to go, but is it Liefeldian?
No.
Okay.
No. No shiny cover bullshit.
No holograms, no prisms. Double Dragon doesn't deserve
How strong were the ads? I saw 2 strong ads.
I basically just remember Marvel ads for comic books and shirts.
I paid attention. There was 2 strong ads, so I'm going to give it a point there.
You do the ads.
And how terrible is the name of the mail section? There is no mail section.
There's subscribe and save. There's no mail section. Maybe in a future issue there will be, but just an ad for Beetlejuice on NES. Play it. It's good.
No, there's nothing.
And then subscribe and save from Marvel Comics.
Did anyone ever get comics mailed to them like that?
I never did. That was like a rich kid thing.
That's such a crazy concept.
You go down to your fucking dollar store and you buy them.
Who was the back of the comic book for? If you know, tell me, because I can't think of a single person that filled out a thing at the end and mailed it in to say send me comics. That's what I'm saying.
I missed it.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy to tune it out because your brain is used to doing that.
Yeah.
So it gets points for the ads.
Sure.
And that's about it. Now, that's all. Not a lot of points, Matt.
No, that's 1, I think.
That's 1. That's pretty fucking low.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, but let's go. Let's get into it, shall we? So step 1. First ad on the table. Hey, dudes, it's new, it's cool, it's Capri Sun.
Free fucking sun, 100% natural, bitch.
That was back when it didn't matter if you had no game plan, as long as you said with attitude to buy my product. That's all that mattered.
Okay, a new fruit drink with Pacific Cool and California Style.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter. You can just absolutely tell people, hey kids, buy it, it's cool.
Yeah.
And no character, no nothing, just a funky font and some nice sunshine and you're good.
Everyone likes Capri Sun, and Capri Sun's still trucking the day, still sloshing in my underwear.
They're trying pretty hard. Yeah. All right, so step 1, enter the sound of the gong for those fucking for your General Tao chicken
the
font.
Double Dragon.
Yeah, no, up there and specifically.
Yeah.
Stanley presents.
Yeah.
All right.
Stanley probably doesn't even know what this. He had no say.
So I hope you like reading, kids, because there's a whole lot of setup exposition. Exactly. All these boxes.
Basically, it's telling about Ogliopolis. Is a city that is being overrun by the new gang Nightfall, which is, again, something completely different to all the criminal organizations in Double Dragon up to this point.
Oligopolis, then we see that she's an undercover cop that got captured by the mummies alive. The mummies
from Ogliopolis.
Oh my God. So you have, and what they did was because she discovered all the corruption and she was
of people taking bribes from Nightfall.
And she got the listed names, and so they caught her on the way out and they stuck her in an impossible fucking hourglass that could have only been built around her.
Yeah.
Because it's a perfect hourglass shape. There's no opening.
They get her in there? Yeah.
What do you do?
Maybe they just teleported in. Maybe one of them has teleportation powers.
Maybe it was magicked.
And on the next page,
it goes, but the Jimmy and Billy are the double dragon. They're the mysterious crime fighters. Marion solved their mystery, however, and if it wasn't for her work, things could have gotten a little bit more complicated. Woo!
And right below that, we have Marion trying to escape, but she's stopped by a mysterious figure.
Well, hold on, because you
what
have.
Else is there?
I'm just saying that, like, it after a solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 paragraphs of intro exposition. The present day starts here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of heavy backstory to read on.
Shoved on 2.5 pages.
But you know what, Matt? There was no time.
No.
Stanley didn't have time.
No,
but
he wanted this. There wasn't a lot.
He wanted to thoroughly explore the world of the video game.
Yeah.
And so he did so in his head for his own purposes. And then here we are.
Yeah.
So what happens in the present?
The present day is that Marion's like either trying to escape with that list, and she's stopped by a mysterious red figure. Woolie, what is the name of this mysterious red figure?
Not the Flash.
No. His name is Superliminal.
That's correct.
Which I don't even get that.
Well, he's fast.
Yeah, but what is Superliminal a word?
He teleports from across the roof to the balcony
and
in
he's like,
one
not here. I'm over here now.
Don't worry about it.
And then these punk kids, these neutrinos, are like, oh no, she got kidnapped. I guess we'll just drive away.
Were it not for my will to let it be, Superliminal wants those kids to escape.
No, that's always a stupid plan.
All right, so
here we have an ad over there.
That's a fine old G.I. Joe hot
Train
card
cards.
right there.
I never had those.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
Fleer Ultra.
Whatever.
And then we have these fucking schmucks training.
All right, so the kids burst into the dojo, and we get a look at the Fu Manchu sensei hanging out, chopping his bonsai tree. Because what else do you do?
There he is.
As an old man Fu Manchu. As an old,
old Fu Manchu.
What do you what? As the
Shifu.
No, the villain from Iron Man. The Manchurian. Right?
Oh, you mean the Mandarin?
The Mandarin, excuse me, Manchurian. Anyway, the Mandarin.
Hey, you got that right. It's another point to you.
Hey, all right.
I'm losing.
So we burst in to see Billy and Jimmy just standing in their idol pose, almost T-posing, just on their tippy toes.
They're two character models that are going through the exact same animation loop.
Right? Furthermore, Billy continues to hold that exact same copy-pasted pose
while Jimmy shoots his astral projection across the screen.
Like, what is happening there? Like, he's starting to do a backflip, but instead of seeing his back to imply that he lands in a backflip pose, we just fucking flip his model around. Yeah. We flip the art. And now he's jumping the other way sideways, which makes no sense, and then lands normally in front of the kids.
I think it's like he's jumping, and in the middle of it, his mind's just like, fuck this, and just like leaves his body.
But the only way for this gesture to make sense to the eye is if he jumped, floated, and then rotated in a curve along the y-axis around the front of Jimmy.
Hey,
then landed down.
There was no time. We got to go.
Speaking of go, we see these Dungeons and Dragons ads.
Yep.
And I finally do understand, like, now that I'm looking at it, they made it seem like it was this amazing board game thing, but they didn't make it, you didn't know that it had, I didn't know that it needed your imagination.
Damn it. That's a terrible thing.
I feel lied to.
Dungeons and Dragons lied for years to get kids on board.
Satan was involved. I couldn't touch it.
It was. So Billy and William and
James Lee.
They don't actually call each other Billy or Jimmy throughout the entirety of this issue. Maybe they do later, but it's proper.
Yeah.
It's our proper names.
Bill in particular gets used.
Is Billy and Jimmy, is that our slave names?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Like, it's to make you think differently about the characters you're already sort of familiar with.
Yeah. So they're like, oh no, Marion got kidnapped by Superliminal face.
And more importantly, the Nightfall.
The Nightfall.
Now you guys, and then so they're like, let's fucking henshin up. But the Fu Manchu's like, no, my students.
Not here. You got to do it in front of our patron god.
He likes to watch. So they head on over.
The dragon statue describes something called the Dragon Force.
Yes.
Which you both share, I guess.
The most Western-looking dragon ever, by the way.
Yeah, it's like what Liu Kang turns into in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
And here we start to enter the unsure world of Mortal Kombat, where it's Asia, but it's Japan, China, and American fusion, and we don't know the differences.
An intoxicating potion.
I'm getting all the vibes of like the mystery of the Orient.
But we don't want it to be too exotic and foreign.
But also the comfort of the blonde and black-haired heroes that we know and love.
That live in America.
Carradine.
Yeah, Carradine, exactly.
So we okay. Ad number 2. Please explain to me why Battletoads was going after the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
When the Ninja Turtles were a TV show and comic book medium, but they had
an empire, really.
Yeah, but the video game world was not like run by Ninja Turtles.
No,
like,
it wasn't.
There was room for Battletoads as a video game.
I guess they were like, instead of trying to not compete with them at all, they're like, hey kids, but this is the new shit. And maybe they were trying to imply there was a pilot for a Battletoad show. An animated show. Maybe that's what they were thinking of in the marketing. Started spinning up a little bit, like revving up. And then they're like, oh, wait, no, it all fell apart and we're only video games. Maybe. I don't know.
I just don't get it, though, because it's like, imagine if, like, Johnson & Johnson's was like, hey, yo, Rooster Teeth, we're coming for you. What you got? Like, what does that... You can't exist. Your products have nothing to do with each other. There's slight overlap at best, but for the most part, nobody's not spending money on cream and facial cream that would also possibly be interested in a Rooster Teeth product.
Kellogg's like, fuck you, Game Grumps, coming for you. You're going down.
I don't get you. Like, what?
That's pretty funny.
CNN is beefing with Sprite? Like... Really?
All right. I mean, there were Turtles video games at the time, but your point remains.
I know, but it's like Battletoads, all you had to do was just exist.
Yeah.
But no, it's the brashness of showing that these toads are about attitude.
Yeah.
We don't care. We're coming out swinging.
We'll call you pond scum, despite the fact we all probably live in the general same sort of environment. We're all kind of living in a lake.
It's a marsh-like slop of a river, maybe even a pond.
But we're from the nicer part of the
ultimately
swamp,
it still smells like shit around the whole thing, but we're gonna call you out because we've got attitude, says the Battletoads. And take notice, of course, of the other games that Trade West makes sure to push your way.
Yeah, like
including
High Speed,
Off-Road, and Jetman.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yep.
Is that Kirby?
Nope.
It can't. Oh, Snake Rattle and Roll or something. That over there.
So there we now back to the boys, to the boys.
You know, transformations are powerful where you say their name in their logo in your word bubble.
You have become trademark Double Dragon.
Register.
I haven't seen such an amazing title drop since Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Yeah. No, nothing really compared.
Please appreciate the ancient mystical outfits worn by the Lee brothers.
Little spike shoulder
featuring
pads.
Spike shoulder pads and tights, the likes of which haven't been seen since Mortal Kombat Deception and Deadly Alliance days.
Make no mistake, these are fuck me boots. All of them.
All the way down.
This is like a latex, like legging. That's what it is. And
it's almost chaps.
Yeah, but that was the style at the time. So
now go forth and save Marion because she's gonna choke on sand. It gets everywhere.
It's of course.
What is one to do? We got some football cards. Not much to say about that.
No, I have zero to say about that. But I have a lot to say about this awful fight. I don't like fights where the heroes are constantly having a full conversation.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense that their actions and dialogue
It's like holding a camera in a found footage movie when the bad guys the monsters are ripping you apart. I don't really get why it's happening. And they constantly bicker while fighting.
Matt, I have a very important question for you, and it'll answer exactly what you hate.
Yeah.
Have you seen, for example, Three Ninjas or Three Ninjas Kick Back?
I've seen Three Ninjas. I don't think I saw them kick back, though.
Are you aware of fight progression in these types of movies?
No. I forget.
You kick a dude, you punch a dude, you turn around, you say a quip.
Yeah.
Other dude goes, huh, 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 knocks another guy out, responds to quip.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do punch, punch, kick, line, line, line.
I think in a movie that works better, but since there's no, like, you can only do this in one frame or two, like one like word bubble or such. It just seems like they're just not stopping talking.
Again, the pace Stan Lee is going for here is the same as your Ninja Turtles, beating some foot soldiers and then saying a thing.
Yeah.
Or your G.I. Joes shooting some cobras and murdering them and then saying a thing.
The fight continues for like another little panel or two, but then something happens where the Lee brothers start fighting.
Yes, important to note that this is also the beginning of the game start here because level 1, and then you get through your goons and then first boss.
Yes.
Right? And each introduction of boss shows you that
there's another boss.
Stan Lee goes, video gamers want to enjoy this comic. We'll give them what they know.
What is this name?
Lots of bosses. This guy in particular?
It's like a Taskmaster, death-looking guy.
The Lizard Men.
What the fuck are these boss names?
The Lizard Men.
Like, remember the cartoon had guys like Jawbreaker and Bones and Sickle?
Yeah.
That's easy. That's easy for a Double Dragon to understand. Like Alan Quartermain. Like, that's not a Double Dragon villain. But the Shadow Boss.
But this villain does nothing. He tosses them an hourglass.
He's just a messenger, basically.
And then opens a portal. And he shows them Marion choking on all that sand.
Gives them a little mini hourglass. And this one synced to her hourglass.
Important to note that when we started tilting the sand, we tilted both at the same time. To make sure, and then wait, we fucked up. Start it over. Okay, put her on her side. All right, now tilt the boat. Perfect.
Yeah, we're the best.
But when you toss the mini one, the time that it's in the air and he catches it disturbs the sand so that they're not in sync anymore. Yeah, it makes no
sense. It's such a complicated plot.
Unclear.
Yeah.
Anyway, they now know that Marion's life is on the clock, and you can either capture me, or you can go find her. But what about both? Why can't we do both? Well, there's a really important plot reason why they can't do both. Matt, what is it? Because remember, the sensei tells them in the beginning, what is your only weakness?
Your only weakness is when you're separated.
Together, you're twice as strong individually.
But if you're just by yourself, then
you're less than half.
Less than half, which makes no sense.
Because let's think about how strong they are.
So it's a fusion.
It is, but they're not actually fused. And furthermore, when they're wearing the suits, they're less than half. I assume...
Is there a range?
Well, here's the problem. The range we will discover soon. However,
what's the nature of the stand?
I feel like less than half is like my mom. Like, what is your strength level? We're probably more than half strong of what they are. So if you're less than half... You're completely nothing.
So then it's just an arbitrary number. Then you say you're not twice as strong then, because if you're twice as strong as what? As the lower level you were when you started, but that's not half?
You know that feeling you get when you're food poisoned?
Yeah.
That's when you're less than half.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what they turn into.
Or you have like a tummy ache.
Can you beat somebody with a tummy ache? Easily.
But I'd rather not.
But I'm saying the weakness sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
This is unbalanced.
Yeah.
Just take the suit off.
So there's
when you're separated.
There's a big.
Why would you keep it on?
There's a big dumb battle on a bridge, where they're like, "Oh,
they introduce the next boss. Next page, next boss." The group shows up and goes, "We got to beat these guys up." That's what the boss told us.
What's the bounty on defeating the Lee brothers?
$100 a head.
It's $100,000 apparently.
Wow! No, it's $100.
$100,000 to whoever kills either of them.
Because the dynamite guy says 100 each.
That's
100,000. No, 100,000.
No,
You're right.
Whatever. But 100,000 who kills either of them. So is the other one worthless? If you kill one, you get another 100,000. You know what?
Because then they don't have the power of Double Dragon anymore.
But they don't know that.
You only kill.
They don't know that yet.
But they do because they know about the dragon. If they know about the dragon, maybe they know about the power.
No, because they only know about the dragon.
But the person who offered the bounty knows about the dragon. Because they know about the power, and if you know about the dragon power, that means you know about the weakness, and then you know to only offer a bounty on one.
You might be right. We haven't really talked about it during the course of this. The dialogue at the start, the exposition, was fine. As you read it, it progressively gets worse and worse, where it's just, the schlocky early 90s writing you come to expect. But it's weird because the start of it was like, wow, this actually has a little bit of prose.
They're trying. They're trying. Yeah.
But they're bickering, William and Billiam. Their fucking bickering is so bad. Like, they're fucking 8-year-olds.
It's it did like the first
fighting over a toy.
The first exchange drops it down to Naruto Sasuke levels of bickering, and then it immediately just goes downhill from worse. There. In particular, on I want to shout out to, of course, as Marvel Comics do, your crack Wud Wunk Thok Wud Wow Coom. Nice variety.
Coom is always nice.
Nice variety of onomatopoeias.
Yeah, of course. And less so on this one, because now we're just doing the Indiana Jones thing. They're like,
what happened? Someone walked in and threw a dynamite,
and it blew up the bridge, the wooden bridge, but none of the people.
Just like the games.
A little bit. There are some bridge sections.
No, the dynamite.
Oh, yeah, when people throw
random guy runs in and throws a thing. Yeah. So the bridge falls out. They catch each other, and then he catches him, and then he lets go. He throws him, and then he catches him again.
I don't know.
I don't understand why, but he lets him go, and then he catches him again. So fine.
Okay. And then after that, we have our next boss.
New page, new boss.
Who is, of course, Exoskeleton.
What's his deal?
He has an exoskeleton. It just seems like he has yellow pounding.
He has
like Skullgirl's arms.
Yeah, Cerebella arms.
Right. Kind of.
We go Marvel ad for itself. That's fine.
Of course. This is an awful She-Hulk.
It's pretty bad, but it's 80s She-Hulk.
I guess so.
Updo.
I wish I had a handhold. Don't worry, says the guy lower than the guy that needs the handhold. I'll punch a handhold lower than you.
Yeah.
And then he goes, a handhold.
Which is below Jimmy. Which does nothing for anybody.
It does something for the guy that punched it, but that's not the guy.
Anyway,
and Exoskeleton's like, what's that noise?
Crunch. Are they pulling a gargoyles on the side of this cliff?
They are, and they punch the shit out of Exoskeleton. And he says the generic villain thing of, this is not possible. It can't be Masaka.
Matt, can you describe to me how much life Exoskeleton has as a boss?
How much life?
Yeah.
Considering that it takes a good 1, 2, 3... 3 hits.
3 hits.
I'm going to assume he has 3 pips of life.
Not unlike a Mario's boss.
Yeah, maybe.
Whose head you would need to jump on.
Exoskeleton's real bad. Like, I thought the other guys were bad, and Exoskeleton's like a better name, but like, he actually doesn't do anything.
He throws a rock.
That's hard to do.
And Matt, in the time that the rock is in the air,
they beat him.
Let's have a little conversation, shall we? Can we...
Full conversation.
We can, like the rock is on its way over, and we're like, okay, you split up, you go handle this, I'll handle that. Then they have time to think.
So here's the rock right in this panel that's flying off the screen, and this is the amazing line of Billy going, "The Dazzle Star should take care of it," and then Jimmy just going, "No, my vibrator chucks will take care of it." And then they both kind of destroy it,
One breaks the rock, the other breaks the exoskeleton.
I guess.
And then they do a big kick. And then
Exoskeleton's just gone from the scene.
Okay.
So in the last panel, he's just kind of on the ground.
Well, it's because he's blinking out of existence.
Yeah,
Matt.
and then they're at like this castle.
Okay.
That's where Marion's being held.
So then they have to split up because there's a corridor that separates into two.
Oh, they don't have to split up, but they're so salty with each other.
What are they saying, man?
They're saying shit like they're saying dumb bullshit like, I can't trust you. You take too many risks, so I'm going to go this way. Meet up with me after I've saved Marion.
And he's like, oh.
What a jerk.
What gives him the right to be the leader?
Yeah, what makes him the boss? And we're both double dragons.
Did you notice the importance of this panel and here?
Yeah, they're both doing an obstacle course.
But the obstacle course is one being completed separately. You see, Billy does it a little bit foolhardy, and he jumps and flips, and he's all haphazard, and he's making jokes.
Does it really fast, too.
But he thinks to himself, it's better to be the funny man than to think about what's happening to Marion right now.
And Billiam, at the bottom, goes, I need to concentrate really hard. Can't let my raging boner distract me from saving Marion.
So you see, they're like separate characters.
They're like two sides of the same coin, bro.
Yin
and yang. A bunch of Shadow Warriors attack.
Literal Shadow Warriors.
Which is what they're called.
Yeah.
And they beat the shit out of both of them.
They Jotaro Ora.
Yeah. Look,
Billiam
right
for a while.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
And I think they get Jammy in the gut. Yeah, they get Jammy in the gut right up there. So he gets a sucker punch.
Jammy's Punchventures. Then they both go, oh shit. Or that fucking Fu Manchu said, we're only good when we're together. And
we're shit when we're apart.
So they...
You thinking what I'm thinking?
No, they don't even do that.
Yeah.
They think like, oh, it's really rough. And to brace themselves, to pick themselves back up.
They lean on the wall.
They lean on a wall, but that happens to be the exact point.
Thank God that Jammy is left-handed. Also, they think about their powers and their weakness from getting punched in the gut. And simply reuniting their hands together.
And with the power of Brakum, the wall explodes, and they're kind of doing this awkward handhold, and now they truly have the power of the double dragons.
With the Exbrosive.
Very
they
good.
end in a giant high five of destiny that defeats all the Shadow Warriors.
And then very quickly, they run into the next scene where they can see Marion in the Prince of Persia glass and the vibechucks, which are now thrown by a completely different character who didn't have them before. That's Jammo. And Jammo throws the vibechucks, but even though he had the Dazzle Star. And then she goes, oh, geez, did you have my fucking super important letter that had all the names on it?
Can I just point out that I understand
I'll
that
do whatever you want.
There was not a whole lot of time.
Hold on, there's a page that got really. I don't care.
Okay.
Anyway,
there was not a whole lot of time. However, that appears to be an extremely violent way of rescuing your love.
Throwing a vibrating metal weapon, and when you're encased in glass.
And I feel maybe just perhaps a little bit of attention could have been paid towards the exploding glass not getting all over her face, eyes, and body.
Because in the next panel, where after it's exploded, she's just on the ground and there's like just some dust around.
And the first thing she says is, "Get my purse."
Yeah.
However,
it's such a woman thing to say in the early 90s in a comic book.
I'm letting it slide
because she was undercover.
Only to point out that I would expect her first words to be, "Oh God, my face! Ah!" It's everywhere. It stings the glass.
Get me my purse so I can get my first aid kit to repair the thousands of wounds I now have.
Micro wounds.
Little micro wounds. So they say stuff like, oh no, the ledger is gone and the nightfall is everything. It was all for nothing. And then Jammo goes, at least you're alive. She then pulls out a gun immediately. And he goes, okay, maybe that was a banal thing to say. But, oh, good, you just shot someone behind me. That's good.
Did she shoot someone behind him, Matt?
No, she shot their katana so it explodes in half because you can't just have someone shoot someone in a comic that's not the Punisher.
And then what happens? He gets kicked. Right?
Then Jimbo kicks him. Right,
exactly. So the gun comes out. The problem solver doesn't solve the problem. No. Just shoots the weapon. Not unlike Leonardo using his swords to do nothing while he kicks the foot soldiers.
Or Wolverine in the original X-Men cartoon. Like, I will not slash you with my deadly weapon. I will slash a lamppost or a tree to crush you.
Yes.
That's less violent.
However, let's still take notice, of course, of the all-important symbolism of the American gun destroying the Japanese sword.
Yeah.
We crush them, says Stan Lee. We crush them beneath the boot heel. Buy war bonds.
Stan Lee would so say that.
He would!
Especially now. There's a line over here that's actually quite progressive for the time where I will fight you for Marion. I'm a crush that. And I'm gonna crush it before you.
No.
And she has the line, are you guys fucking crazy? I'm not some prize for you two to fight over.
At which point,
Good job, Marion.
Right? She jumps in the Odyssey and flies off and leaves them behind.
Yeah, you fuck each other.
God damn it.
So the sensei stand, his big pink face appears but does nothing.
It
appears and it's just there.
Turns out that the Fu Manchu has Purple Hermit.
Yeah, just because that's all it does. It just sends a message and they go, what the fuck was that? And they're like, oh, this was all a ruse. You were never important. The bad guys, the Nightfalls, are all at the Double Dragon Dojo and they're stealing our shit.
You were being distracted while we went to the source of your power.
And then they'll probably know about all the big weaknesses and such.
Matt, what do we have to do to find out more?
Tune into the next issue, Double Jeopardy.
And once again, the font implies that you should hit the sound of the gong and order some General Tao because we're doing it in Chinatown.
And then after that, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
Just what we talked about before. So that's Double Dragon.
That's Double Dragon.
It's a 6-issue series.
Oh my God. It went that long. I was going to say like 2.
Now, it says Video Game Star in their comic debut, but it doesn't say that's a limited series. I think they just like, oh shit, this is going to get canceled. Just wrap it up.
Okay. So, all in all,
amazing Eisner Award winning.
I actually feel that this is not the worst incarnation of Billy and Jimmy.
It's not.
It's
so fucked
far
up.
from.
It's better than the cartoon, maybe.
It is.
Okay.
It's probably.
I like the villains in the cartoon better, though.
It's probably on level with the live action movie.
Yeah. I mean, I hate that one a lot.
It is bad, but it's far from the worst.
Because I thought it was based on the movie. I'm not sure if the year of printing works out.
No, it's 1991.
Wow, because the movie was 94.
Yeah, this is 1991, but it's clearly still based in the future because we can see the kids on the hover bikes.
One of the kids had rad
on the back of his shirt.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's a Capri Sun drinker. He knows the deal.
The one deal we don't know. What could this possibly be worth?
All right, let me see here. Let me gather.
Let you peruse. Let you feel the paper, the papyrus it's printed on.
Check the weight. Feel the. This sold for $1 US, $1.25 Canadian on the 1st of July, 1991.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say
it's a limited series.
Yep. I'm gonna say as we'll keep this up. I'm going to appraise the current value.
Have the little tugboat go across the bottom of the screen that says the estimated value.
I'm going to appraise the current value. $2.99.
$1.
You think it's still $1?
$1.
I think it's tripled in value. I think it's tripled in value. I think it's worth $3 now.
So do we have a reliable site in which we can look this up?
We should have one.
If we do, bookmark it.
I think I found the trick.
Okay.
I think the trick is to just type the name of the comic while you're searching for typing the word comic value. Because if I take a look up here, I think we have a lead. Right? Comic book value, Double Dragon 1. Marvel Comics, right?
Yeah.
This is a place.
Enter the Double Dragon.
That looks reliable, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I see you've clicked it before.
That's... What? No, it's blue.
Because it's purple.
It's blue.
Oh, it looks purple to me. Whatever. It's fine.
What are you talking about? That's super blue.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm colorblind. I don't know.
Okay.
Cover price. Current value, $3.
What?
That much closer to it.
What?
Very, very good, sir.
Dead fucking on, dude. Dead fucking on. Let's go.
My unbeatable squirrel girl-like streak of getting these has come to a close.
To the fucking... No, I said $2.99.
But
to the penny.
Yeah, to the penny.
Which we don't have anymore up in Canada, so I'll take that.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right, so your reward, of course, is...
to read a single page of Saga.
So that is the third page now.
Where's my reward?
It's where you know it is. It's in the trash. I love the clink of
an empty energy drink.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now you got to read pages 1 and 2 like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I only get to the third. So here we go.
And I forget pages 1 and 2.
Here we go. Past 1, past 2,
yeah.
Straight to 3.
Okay.
Okay, so Alana says, hey.
Yes.
She says, our daughter is hardy as shit, and we're worried, and she's basically worried about possible, like, all the birth defect bullshit that they were taught. She thinks that's all garbage and propaganda. Everyone is talking mad shit.
Let's hope so.
Because they're actually totally fine, and they're able to have a kid no problem, and Marco's like, yeah, totally, man, it's cool, like, I hope that it was all bullshit.
And horns are basically the same thing.
Right? Our daughter's super tough and she's a badass. And here's the next big plot twist. She's about to be a little sister. This is fucking crazy, y'all. Oh, shit. Oh, and then they have a moment and they hug.
Oh, I wish I could see it.
And she's like, we're so fucking lucky.
Yeah, I guess.
And then the last panel is like, it's a giant... Okay, it's all orange. And Marco's looking up and he's going orange. And then like these energy sparks, and they're like yellowish and orange, are like floating in the air suddenly all around them.
Oh.
And then the future baby, remember the future baby?
Yeah, well, the narrator.
Future baby narrator kicks in, and you see the script and it says, my family and our newest house guests were in the middle of our long journey to the next potential safe harbor.
Oh.
And that's page 3 of Saga, where something fucking badass is about to happen.
I can't wait till one of us gets to read page 4.
No.
Oh, Saga.
Back to your home, I guess.
Get into your home. Oh, I feel bad every time.
It looks like a good issue too, dude. It looks like a good one too.